There's always room for a party, Joe.
We saw Palace as Bostic makes it rain. I'm assuming that money's not genuine.
You will notice Andrew Palace went out to see if there was any value in it as well. And you can hear the crowd chanting Bostic.
That is not exactly what they're saying.
What? Oh. Sounded like Bostic.
That's kind of the point, but then again, kind of not. But two former Super Indy champions, a former IWC Feud of the Year, reignited with a qualifying spot in Super Indy 18. We've heard already announced a man that Palace defeated a month ago, Anthony Green, making waves all over the U.S. and Canada. Jonathan Gresham, the most recent ex-Super Indy champion and three-time running Super Indy tournament finalist, and the controversial and cockstrong Joey Ryan, all in that field. Do you have an early prediction of who will wind up being the fourth, whoever the victor of this matchup is?
Do I have a prediction, you said? You asked? I would go with whoever won.
Couldn't do it without you, Jayworth.
Do what I can. Do what I can. I mean, honestly, you want me to predict these two are... It's oil and water. It's night and day. They are... The only thing that I can say is they both have the same high energy level. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you who has an advantage over the other. They have wins over each other. One doesn't really seem to have an advantage over the other outside of Palace has much better hair.
That, I think, everybody can agree with.
So, if you want me to, if I have to give it to anyone, I have to give it to Palace based solely on his hair, which doesn't seem like much of a win. But that's all I got, Joe.
Yeah, I think a win over Bostic setting the bar pretty low as far as hair right now, but be that as it may. These men battled up and down throughout 2016. Very evenly matched rivalry. Palace got his way in the end, but it was a long road to home. Pile driver? Somebody call Memphis? No.
Nope.
Counter jackknife pin only for one. And another thing I'll point out, Jayworth, as we have another one count, I noticed the ring announcer state this matchup has a 20-minute time limit. If we go the distance, which is very possible with how competitive these men are, we could see neither one making the Super Indy.
Yeah, very true. That would just leave an open spot. I don't know how that gets filled in the event of a tie, double disqualification, no contest, etc.
Hey, we got Night of Superstars coming up next month. We have a big doubleheader with Chikara in the month of May in Memorial Day weekend. So plenty of opportunities to fill out this bracketing, but I think Palace dead set to make sure we don't have to solve that problem. Hard knife edge chop. What about what Palace has meant for the growth and development of IWC for the past several years? Former Super Indy champion as well as IWC champion.
I mean, a kid who really worked his way up. Started out, like we all remember when he was a member of the STDs and part of an entourage, and then found his way how to break out of that and worked his way up.
And now to break through. Palace the tope. Palace turned his back to Bostic and Dillon was waiting with a knee.
Good, hard, diving knee strike. Palace concerned about what some moron fan with a sign had to say about him when he should have been concerned about Dylan Bostic, who was right behind him.
That's a testament to how, wait a minute, Palace dropped on the ring frame. How minute amount of time Bostic needs to change the pace and tempo his way.
If you have the advantage with your opponent, another running knee trembler.
And Palace is limp.
Center of the ring.
Palace in a bad way. Bostic gets 2.
And Bostic adjusting his headband.
Bostic, of course, we've seen in the past.
Oh.
The current welterweight champion. Traveling around the Midwest defending that title. Oh, pinpoint precision on the drop kick. We've seen Bostic at the Indiana State Championship. Would love to add the Super Indy Championship to that decorated waistline once again, as Bostic finds 2.
And once again, Bostic doubled over, guarding. Palace steps off, and that was all the time it took for Bostic to come around and hit that drop kick and get back in charge of this match, Joe. Hair be damned, Bostic's looking better than Palace right now.
And Bostic has been able to silence and slow down that frenetic energy of Palace.
Which is saying something, as there is a lot of Spasmanian devil-type energy in Andrew Palace at any given time.
That's a hell of an match, too. And Bostic.
Flurry of strikes.
That combo with the release German Palace on his head. Palace has always been at his most dangerous when he's his most unpredictable. Dillon neutralized it for a near fall.
Another running knee strike to the head. That's what, 2 or 3 that Palace has taken.
And with each shot, you got to believe that that brain capacity suffering, that vision getting hazier.
Well, hell, everything hurts more, too. Never get hit in the same place twice, Joe?
Well, yeah, it doesn't feel good. Especially if Dylan Bostic was the one doing it. Crowd coming alive for Palace. First of 2 Super Indy qualifying matchups to enter into the tournament. We could make history with our qualifier later on tonight. Right now, Bostic trying to repeat some history by getting back into the tournament that launched him to IWC Superstardom.
Ooh.
Palace tried to create an opening in the corner, but Bostic is relentless.
And he has that, went for the ripcord.
Palace turns it around with a neck breaker. And Billy gets the foot up. Palace with shotgun drop kick. Back and forth wrestling and counter wrestling, much like we saw throughout 2016 and 2015 as well.
And Bostic holding on, not allowing that German. But finally getting out of the grasp of Palace.
And Palace sent overhead. Over the top rope, puts the brakes on. Bostic doesn't realize it.
Oh. The good hard shot to the gut.
Oh, Bostic with a straight right hand.
And again, Bostic knew what was happening.
Well, these men know each other very, very well.
All it takes is that moment of hesitation, that moment of let's get the crowd behind me. And Bostic takes advantage, and takes advantage well.
Bostic's looking to elevate Palace. A German suplex on the apron. If Palace lands on the frame or on the floor, this will spell the end of the matchup.
Oh!
Palace a cutter. And both men are hurt. Both men land awkwardly.
Palace, his saving grace was he was able to grab hold of that ring rope with his left arm and prevent that suplex or whatever Palace was planning. Or Bostic was planning.
Well, both men just planning a vertical base at this point. Palace going for that high angle back suplex. Bostic plants his feet, that wide base, able to counter.
Up.
Oh, look out.
Oh!
Another shot to the side of the head. Pinpoint precision. Bostic half a count away.
And again, another shot to the head of Palace. That hair can only absorb so much, Joe.
You can see the shock and awe on the face of Bostic as he thought he had the formula down.
But now choosing his shots, just measuring them with those punches. Right, then left, then right.
And Palace can't get his footing and his wherewithal to fight back. Oh, there we go.
Oh, he offered him one, and he dropped him with a solid, that was a cross?
So Bostic gets for running his mouth.
A European-style uppercut.
I'm not sure who's getting more luster behind this. And Dilla, desperation tactics, biting at the flesh of Palace. And Palace responds in kind. Super Indy season brings out some drastic measures.
By any means necessary, Joe. He has him by what? Would you call that a top knot?
I call that an embarrassment. But right now I'm calling Palace relentless.
Now Palace resting on Bostic. Bostic back up.
Oh. What is it, the fourth or fifth knee? That'll do it, no.
And once again, Palace needs a moment to clear the cobwebs, and Bostic takes advantage.
Bostic, Psycho knee style, able to take Palace down. And Palace, man, you can sense every shot to the head, it's taking Palace longer and longer to recover.
And frankly, giving Bostic more and more opportunities to secure the win.
Presented without editorial. Bostic now going for the superplex. Well, Palace knows he's in a dire situation, finds his way free.
Oh.
Again, Bostic, that wide base, able to plant his feet and counter. That suplex attempt, Palace gets ahead of steam.
Rolls through.
Chaos Theory, got him! No! Shades of former IWC champion Ray Rowe, who we referenced earlier.
And a great suplex by Palace, but Bostic still plenty in the tank.
Bostic lands on his feet. Swaggy D couldn't get the hand around the shoulders of Palace. Palace leaped forward to counter. Oh, Palace got a pile driver that time. Dilla got spiked. Tiger driver. Has him.
No! The Palace stayed right on top of him. A crossface.
Yeah, a modified STF, but Palace doesn't have it cinched in tight enough.
He doesn't have the leg.
Bostic up to all fours to alleviate some of the pressure. Can Bostic get to the rope? And Bostic's vision might be obstructed as well. Bostic's not sure where the nearest rope is. He got there.
He had to know if he went far enough, eventually he'd hit it.
Palace. Do you sense frustration on Palace's body language? Wait a minute. Oh, but you sense frustration now and a lot more. Bostic downstairs gets Swaggy D.
Swaggy D.
That'll do it. Bostic heads to Super Indy. Whoa!
No!
Bostic's won more matches in IWC with that move than any other. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot about the chairs, Jayworth.
So did I, but you know who didn't? Dylan Bostic.
And obviously, Bostic can't blatantly use this chair. It'll be a disqualification, and Palace will go to Super Indy. Bostic wasn't thinking straight there, but Palace caught the chair. And now Palace loses the chair. It'll be Bostic and Super Indy. Maybe it was a bait and switch by Bostic, who's now got the second chair. Oh, damn it, it was all planned. Bostic knew what he was doing the whole time.
Tosses it out.
He
Count
set
it.
up Palace, and Bostic stole it.
Advancing to the Super Indy Tournament, Dylan Bostic.
He had a plan. He stuck to it. And sure enough, it worked. Dylan Bostic on his way to the Super Indy Tournament.
Using all the tricks in the book, every shortcut he possibly could. Dylan Bostic, no shame, no remorse, no conscience. He wanted in a Super Indy at all costs, and he got there.
He had answer after answer for Andrew Pallas's offense. And in the end, he had an answer for Andrew Pallas's stubborn ability to not lose.
Will Dylan Bostic have an answer for Joey Ryan, for Anthony Green, the retrosexual, for Jonathan Gresham? Bostic, the fourth confirmed name in the field. Super Indy 18, June 15th.